Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushua Ba'Hashem Kwakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Kevin Stone, the world's realm nation. DC kept another lesson to edify the whole fair elect, Akim out there, and Habas and Boways, pushing the works of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, shine sincerity, truth, intelligence of mind. So, yeah, you just got to, be sober minded in these last days. It's very necessary. All right, because you see how all these news updates keep popping up all over the place regarding the COVID-19 virus. So it's a beautiful thing, It's a gift from the Lord, Bashima Shai, to the elect to prepare accordingly, because the world is getting judged, and all you gotta do is just have faith in the Lord that He will guide you through. So I played this video real quick, man, because you know, you saw things so-called stimulus plan and trying to help people financially is the way forward, but that's not going to change anything, because the Lord Hashem Ashai is closing the chapter on America, also known as Babylon in the Bible.
President Trump is now urging Congress to deploy $1 trillion right away, including money, checks that would be sent to American families. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, tonight.
Yeah, he's talking about American families. What about folks that are undocumented? How are they going to get something, So just imagine, man, you have Jake that's undocumented as well as the heathens of the other nation. So how's that money going to trickle down to get them? So at the end of the day, it's all one big ball of confusion. All right. So the elders, the apostles, been talking about this for decades. That this place is going down. There is no other way. All right.
One of the biggest economic crises in American history, President Trump is urging Congress to inject up to $1 trillion into the economy.
We're going big.
One big piece of the plan, which is still being negotiated, direct cash payments to most Americans. ABC News has been talking to some of those hit hardest, including parents of the nearly 30 million children who rely on schools, most of which are now closed for low-cost or free lunches.
Tell me how life is at home right now.
It's scary. The kids don't understand. Trying to explain to the kids is the biggest part. This is serious right now.
This is the new normal now.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, many are without work because their employers have been forced to shut down, including the more than 7 million people who work in restaurants and bars.
So in total, how many employees are you?
200.
200? Have they confided in you about worried about rent and paying bills?
You can see fear in their eyes.
And that's exactly what's going to grip these people completely in the last days. How else could you describe it but referring directly to the scriptures? So I got the book of Ezekiel chapter 2. I'm going to read from verse 9 to verse 10. It said, you know what? Let's start from verse 8. Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 8. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. All right. That's the nation of Israel. Okay. Open thy mouth and eat what I give thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. All right. That's the prophecies, All right. The Holy Scriptures. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. So it's going to be tough on families, man. Tough on people. Tough on the homeless. Tough on the undocumented. So it's going to be crazy, man. You're going to see the true test of what you call humanity. The Lord Bashima Shai is going to put people through that fire. And that's why it's important, for our camp to go through the purification, of doing the work of the Lord by Shima Shai, fasting, praying, denying yourself, and also the significance of the Passover, all right, to understand that you don't have time to be holding on to the things of this world, that you have to let it go and keep moving on, because what the Lord has prepared for us is more important than looking forward to a stimulus or so-called care package in Babylon, all right? So just got to pray that Lord Yahweh Shema Shai continue to strengthen your spirit. Another precept by God says from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verses 8 and 9. So it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. All right? So America is going towards destruction. Right? See the reason, you see why those elites have bunkers and they stock up on essential supplies, to last for at least a decade or whatever. All right, it says Jeremiah 51 verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So all this idea of stimulus packages and all that stuff, it's not going to last. It's just like a flash in the pan, alcohol in a hot pan.
You can see it.
The administration says it wants to sending out checks to Americans right away. It's unclear how much those checks would be for. Senator Mitt Romney has proposed $1,000 per person.
Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
The emerging trillion-dollar plan would also include relief for the industries hit hardest, including hotels and airlines, which have asked for $50 billion.
Yeah, so you know how it is, man. I work in the so-called hospitality industry, all right? And there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee, that things will get brighter in this place. In fact, there's no guarantee, man, of thinking about tomorrow as being a promise of relief. Because as a man of the Lord, you have to understand that tomorrow's like yesterday. It's already past. All you can do is trust in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, and don't really put all your trust in a system that's been riddled with corruption and gatekeepers and sambos and all this cronyism and nepotism. All right, so just got to trust in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, and stay focused. Ignore all these distractions. All right. So it says in verse 9, Jeremiah 51 verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So whatever, stimulus packages they have, it's not really going to work because the whole system is flawed. You're right. If you want to make a serious impact, you have to get rid of the tax code. You have to burn it. You have to, scrap that, burn it to the ground, and stick with the Lord's commandments. Or when it comes to approaching a business, the laws of the land, how you manage the land and all that stuff. But Esau wouldn't want to do that. All right, so it's all smoke and mirrors. All right, because getting cash is not really gonna change much. All right, you give someone $1 billion, what are they gonna do with it? Are they gonna be able to hold on to wealth? All right, when they know that all these so-called regulations in the book restricts people, all right, on how they can use their land and what they can use it, on what they can, do to it and all that stuff, and the other inventions that you want to bring to market, and then you have all these saboteurs always want to fuck things up because the elites, man, they're just one little group of greedy people. So that's the reason why, the man of the Lord cry unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai day and night, to cut this place down to disappoint Esau. Okay, so it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country. So all these people that come from other countries, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's from South America, North America, whatever, Africa, Asia, they're gonna say to hell with this place. They're going back home because they're tired of all the games and shenanigans. All right. So it says, let us go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up up even to the skies. Yeah, so the scriptures is true. These folks are gonna go back to their countries, man. These so-called Chinese, these so-called Koreans, they're gonna get fed up with this place. They're just gonna pack up and leave. They're just gonna close up their businesses and say, adios, bye-bye. All right. So that's what we're looking forward to. And then another precept here is from the book of Job, chapter 5. All right. Verse 12, it says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So whatever they're planning, look as if they're getting forward, they're moving forward with it, they're accomplishing something, but the Lord thereby Shema is going to destroy it. All right, because their rulership is coming to an end. So whatever plan they're trying to, put up there to have people, forget about accepting cash and all that stuff and go along with the RFID microchip and vaccinations and adhere to the new policies and regulations and laws, whatever, is going to get scrapped. Because the Lord thereby Shema Shai is a man of war. And he's already declared war on America before America was founded upon the face of the earth. All right, and that's why these elites, they're doing everything they can to pacify the people.
There's also a measure to allow people an extra 90 days to pay their taxes without penalty or interest.
And John, we know the administration wants to send out checks to help Americans get through this crisis. What more are you learning tonight about how much those checks will be for and when they'll go out?
David, I just talked to a senior administration official involved in negotiating this. He tells me that the plan right now is for checks of more than $1,000 for every American except for those at the upper income levels. The checks would go out by late April if this all passes quick.
Well, people don't have to April, man. You know how many jakes that are walking under the table that don't even have the bank account or they deal with this cash? Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy, man. So you just gotta pray on the Lord Yahweh Shai to guide you through, man. Because it's gonna be a serious test, all right, that you have to endure all the way until the end. Yeah, because you see all the games and tricks, that they're supposed to put it on TV. See all the drama. So this is gonna be from the book of Sirach, chapter 42. Verse 18. It says, also verse 17, the Lord had not given powers to all, the Lord had not given power to the saints to declare all his marvelous works, which the Almighty Lord firmly settled, that whatsoever is might be established for his glory. All right, so the Lord there by Shema Shai doesn't really need us to talk about his works. All right, but because he's already set it down, set it in place before we were formed. All right, so it says, he seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. So all these, secret deals that they're having behind closed doors over their secured telephone lines and communications and all that stuff, the Most High sees all that, and in due time, He's going to reveal it to His servants, the prophet. All right. So it's going to be, these folks or the so-called elected officials, they're going to be running for the for their bunkers, man. They're going to tell you, well, at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll be having a so-called press conference. In a matter of time, folks show up for that meeting. Say, oh no, sorry, there's been a change of plans. Oh man, already, got out of Dodge. So that's how they're gonna be deceptive, man. To get out and leave the people holding the bag. So, you can't really trust them. All right. So another precept is going to be from the book of Second Ezra. Folks think things are bad. Now you just wait to see what's going to happen in the near future. So this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9. I'll start from verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou sewest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So you expect to see signs in the heavens, signs from the Lord Yabashima Shaba Shima Kwakadash, upon the face of the earth, to let the people know that it's time for him to get busy and shake the foundations of this earth. All right, and then you're gonna see the man of the Lord, rejoicing and just speaking in different tongues, working miracles, preaching the gospel with all boldness, confronting all these so-called elected officials and the elites. Yeah, so just expect that prophecy to come to pass. All right. So therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. All right. And verse 4 says, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So you're gonna see all these commotions, man, public upheavals and protests and all that stuff is gonna increase. Folks are not gonna be able to hold in their anger and frustration, and where they're gonna start lashing out because they're starving, they're oppressed. All right, so they're gonna let out some steam, man, because you know how it is, man. Getting to that boiling point. We're gonna start seeing those bubbles, no hot water, and then the steam start building up. All right, and then these folks are about to lose their marbles. Okay, and then another precept is gonna be from the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verses 8. It says, Remember this and shew yourselves, men, bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. All right, so for the men of the Lord that were once asleep and that woke up, they'll be the ones to remember what the Lord Yabashim Shai has promised to do and what is requiring us to do. Okay, verse 9 says, Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. All right, so he is unique. All right, he's omnipotent, he's omnipresent, and he's omniscient. All right, and then it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And that's what we're looking forward to see the Lord Yabashim Shai declare all his pleasure. And it includes, the sweet and the bitter part of the scriptures. And that's what people don't understand. So all that prosperity doctrine has been put to the test. And the Lord thereby Shema Shai is going to start judging people.
And then a second check for the same amount would go out 2 months later if we are still in a national emergency.
All right, this is developing now, and John Carr, thanks to you.
Yeah, so you're going to start seeing that sign in a lot of businesses. Closed out of precaution for the coronavirus. Alright, so it's going to be a common trend. Yeah, so the Lord thereby Shema Shai is angry. And you just got to pray that you have that mark of exemption, the Holy Spirit with you, so you'll be protected from this mass destruction that's coming upon the face of the earth. So this is the book of Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. It says, "For behold, the day of the Lord cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble." Alright, the book of Ezra says, for because of their pride, the city shall be stubble. And also says pride goeth before a fall. So the pride of America is they always believe whatever the government tells them, and that might all that is gonna go down the drain. Okay, then it says and the day that cometh shall burn them up, the day of doom, said the Lord of hosts. Alright, Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Kwakwadash. That's about what? Alright, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise, and that's Yahushua, with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Alright, so you expect your blessings to come true, on a heavy dose very soon, man. So right now, you just have to endure these difficulties that is coming upon the earth. All right. Verse 3 says, "And ye shall tread down the wicked." Yeah, so we're going to dominate our oppressors, and that's within the scriptures. All right. The so-called churches don't really talk much about this. They always talk about being a so-called sheep, being a so-called docile, being a pawn. Just going along with the image of the beast. The Lord Abashima Shai is not pleased with that type of doctrine. That's why it's got to sweep away the refuge of lies. Alright, Malachi chapter 4 verse 3, "And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts." So, what else can you expect from the Lord but to come destroy this place and separate his elect from the people that are upon the face of the earth, because it's time for a righteous rulership. Alright, this is what you see when you have a wicked rulership upon the face of the earth. Alright, people are upset, they're angry, they're frustrated. Alright, people just don't know what to do. So the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is coming with a serious answer. So he's coming to judge the world. So just pray that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has you covered and that you're able to withstand what's coming. Shalom.